Well, hello my beautiful Librans, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Librans, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into what you're moving through at this moment in time and of course what lies on the other side. Now this reading, it tends to be quite specific, so please don't try to force it or make it fit if it does not. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind, okay? So let's begin your reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Librans? What are they moving through at this moment in time? What are they going through and what lies on the other side? So your starting card there is the Ten of Wands. You are exhausted to the very core of your soul. You've been going through a lot. There's responsibility. You are challenged. You have been overcoming many things this year. You've been doing it all. Ten of Wands indicates that you are a very strong person, but you are burnt out or very close to burnout. You've been overloaded with little support. And I feel a lot of you are just so over 2025 and you want to see how things will develop in 2026. But with that Ten of Wands, you may not be so sure that it's going to be different at all, as it were. But let's see what's going on there for you. We have the Eight of Cups. Yes, I could really feel in your energy that you're so done with 2025. Now, don't get me wrong, you accomplished a lot. I feel there's an energy that you have gained a lot of lessons there, but you are exhausted. You've had perhaps a lot of stress as well. And this time of year tends to make people extra stressed, especially when you're reviewing where you feel like you are right now and where you want to take life to next. It feels overwhelming, okay? With that Eight of Cups, a lot of you are thinking about your direction as you walk into the new year. And we've also got the Ace of Wands. So I feel a lot of you, it's about energy, taking a step back, needing a bit of a break, if that's even possible. And that Ace of Wands is about rekindling that spark. We've also got the Strength card here. Really interesting. We've got wands and we've got a lot of cards connected to your inner roar. Some of you are so exhausted or you've been through a lot. You've reached a certain level where you're like, I can't take it anymore. Is it going to get any better? Well, the answer is yes. But I do feel that a lot of you have been kind of doing a lot of soul searching, okay, and trying to rediscover your confidence within something or even that inner spark. You may feel that you've been just full of responsibility this year, getting on by, almost disassociated because you've had so much to do. You feel that you've just got to take it step by step there. We have a Page of Swords, so you're curious about what next year can yield, but you're also curious about new pathways. Some of you may feel like nothing changes and you are recognizing that if you don't change, then you accept things as they are. And because you have that Eight of Cups in the crossing position, which I will show you in a moment, it can indicate a need for change or something new, or that you're going in search of that missing ingredient to keep life interesting or more spontaneous. A lot of you may have been making declarations to self that next year you're going to take more calculated risks, or you want to have that level of spontaneity and excitement there. We've got the Chariot. So this is movement and improvement in your future there with that Chariot card. But this can also indicate reaching a goal, having a breakthrough, but bubbling up with new ideas and getting curious. Now, because we do have that Eight of Cups and the Page of Swords in your reading so far, it can indicate some of you have been hypervigilant, keeping your eyes peeled on the world and how it's evolving, and you may feel like you're trying to make sense of things right now and do a little bit of extra digging. A lot of you are all about the truth right now, trying to see beyond the lies or the illusions. There is your Seven of Swords. It's so present in your energy right now. So you're not just taking something at face value or fact value. You're going a little bit deeper. You're in investigation mode, okay? And this could be that you're connecting to the advancements in the world, technology, maybe rhetoric. Seven of Swords can indicate that perhaps you don't believe some people with the structures, or you feel something isn't fair. This could be global events, could also be something personal to you right now. And there's a real need for freedom and independence. When you get an Eight of Cups, which is to walk away and have freedom to roam wherever you choose. And when you have a Seven of Swords, this can be a real desire to march to the beat of your own drum. Like no one gets to corner you or control you or stifle your progress. So I feel a lot of you, this could be that you're doing a lot of thinking, a lot of healing, and a lot of setting yourself free from structures that you feel do not benefit you or try to control you in some way. Now we've got the Queen of Wands. On a personal level, the Queen of Wands indicates that you are a magnet, that you are having a glow up. This is circumstances outside of yourself. So it can indicate that you can't see this right now, but things are going to turn a corner. A lot of you are going to be a little bit more focused on yourself, your beauty needs, your body. You're going to be listening to your bodily needs, trying to manage intrusive thoughts as well. But also you may want to be a little bit more flamboyant, to live in the moment, to really find that fun excitement in the present moment, but lean into groups of people, or, have an affinity with people that really align with you. I mean, a lot of you, it's like, I just want to have fun. You may have felt that things got so serious with that Ten of Wands energy. You're like, where is the fun at? But we've got that Queen of Swords energy there as well. Now, this can be two people. This reading's meant to be about you, but this could be that perhaps some of you with that Seven of Swords, someone has hurt you, wounded you, or you don't trust a person. It could be that someone's in competition with you, or you just are keeping your eyes peeled. It can also indicate that someone close to you, no matter what you do, it's never enough. And you're just exhausted, and you're like, I've reached my limit. Seven of Swords indicates you are not a people pleaser, and that your happiness is not tied up within another, and you are not responsible for another person's happiness. They're responsible for their own. So there could be some sort of shift in dynamic at this moment in time where you are deciding to walk away from people who demand so much of you, but at the same time give little in return, or anything that you do for them out of the kindness of your heart is just never enough. There's always some sort of comment or crankiness, or, some level of, I would say, how can I put it? It's not moodiness. I'm just getting an energy of like complaining, okay? Moaning about things. So that's something that's coming out there as well, which is not something that typically comes out in my readings, but I feel a lot of you are like, you know what? I can't keep having this conversation or returning to this at this time. It's just making you feel really fed up and you want to walk away from this. So with that Six of Swords, I feel like for some of you, because there's a Page of Swords, I feel like you've tried to have conversations with this person. If you're dealing with a person like this could be someone close to you or in your family or sibling or a neighbor or a boss. It could be anybody, okay? But I really get this energy of both parties having their say. Page of Swords there. There's two hands on that sword, okay? And they are two separate hands from people. Okay, so there's two people holding that sword. So it can be like holding court with a person, trying to resolve something. But ultimately, Six of Swords, sometimes people will never change their ways, or they will never listen, they'll never get it, and sometimes you just got to walk away and say, look, maybe I'm just wasting my breath. So a lot of you are distancing yourself at this time because you've said your piece, you've tried to hold court, you've tried to talk about it, but it seems like you keep returning to this and the only answer is to protect your inner peace. I mean, Six of Swords can indicate that there is some sort of resolution, but ultimately I feel like you're moving on from a very challenging time with a person where you have a dialogue and it just goes round and round in circles, and you feel like you always have to explain yourself or try to placate a situation. I feel like you're just done with that. You're trying to protect your inner peace and move on. So I am actually going to move on from that energy and make this reading more about you, because this can be steps, all about you. When it comes to a Celtic cross, these are aspects of self. So other people may show up in the reading because there are two queens here. Okay, and we have that Queen of Wands and Queen of Swords there. So some of you, this can be with another person. Perhaps it's an alliance, or perhaps it's an understanding that comes to aid a situation that has been quite tense for some time, because there is peace with that Six of Swords at the end of it. There's some sort of olive branch there, a protection of the relationship, but it comes through a very challenging, honest, open conversation. But also the Celtic cross, it yields steps of your life. So I feel a lot of you, there is this energy of feeling totally disassociated and feeling that you've been under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress there, your high cortisol levels, you're trying to keep an eye on those right now, or you're trying to manage stress levels and intrusive thoughts to make sure that you adhere to your body's needs and really pay attention to what your body is trying to tell you at this time. So to go from, the Queen of Wands, which is the circumstances outside of yourself, which basically means you're someone who is very attractive, you're fun to be with, you are someone who is capable of very deep friendships, and you just want to have fun. You want to go out there and have a lighter kind of energy, but the Ten of Wands indicates that, of course, there's a heaviness here. Things got a lot this year, and yes, there's a lot of stress, a lot to do. You've got a lot on your mind right now, and you have this sense of duty or this responsibility that has been weighing you down. And a lot of you are trying to work through some baggage as well and do it all. I feel like you've been holding it all together, and it felt like a bit of a gear shift this year, but you're nearly there on something, whatever that is. You're being protected and directed, and peace of mind, as well as being in a different place completely next year, is really starred for you. So I feel like, things are going to get easier. You're simplifying your life. And also it just feels like a relief as you close out the year and move into next, because you can even feel the shift that things, yes, they were hard this year, but it's not going to be the same next year. Number one, you're different. Okay, very big message there. You are different, and you acknowledge that what you do not change, you accept. And looking at that Eight of Cups, I feel like you've accepted something or tolerated something for so long. I feel like you just don't want to do this anymore, whatever it is. So you're in search either of that missing ingredient or a pathway away from whatever it is that's not fulfilling for you right now. Now that Queen of Cups energy here, it's a Page of Cups energy here with that Queen of Swords is what I meant to say there. Queen of Swords can indicate some sorrow or lament or sadness. It feels like you've been showing up for yourself, independent and trying your best, bringing your A game. And sometimes it just feels like you are doing it all and somehow you feel like you're still in the same place, or you somehow missed the mark. But you're going to see a measure of your progress, but also rewards in the new year. Okay, so that's coming through as well. But let's bring it back to you. Ten of Wands, you're a very strong person. I actually kind of like the Ten of Wands because it means that you're the sort of person you can do. You have that attitude where you're independent, you're building in confidence, and you've been doing it all. Yes, you are exhausted, but you're still showing up for yourself and believing in yourself. Ten of Wands energy can indicate that, there is a need to look at where you need some changes, because I feel like you're so ready for change. And for some of you, this could literally be a change in direction, or you want to explore things in a different way or come out of your comfort zone because you feel like things, they just don't change. Like it's the same old thing, just a different day or even a different year there. And with the Ten of Wands, some of you, not all of you, but you may be feeling a little bit stuck in a rut. Like, will things change? Well, the answer is absolutely yes. And I feel you can already feel that shift, that things are changing for you. because we do have that Ace of Wands. The universe is giving you the opportunity for transformation. Now, this card is really exciting because it means being more spontaneous. It means that you're going to have more energy, more drive, more ambition, and you're going to make more headway. And also, this can be good news, whether it's through an email, a phone call, a text. There's something coming through here that you will celebrate, okay? And I feel like you did everything you could to make that become your reality, is what I'm seeing there, okay? So 10 of Wands, a foundation card. This is how you are feeling right now. And this means that, you know, you've done so much with every resource that you've had this year, and you held it all together. And yes, there's been many plot twists. And yes, you know, you're wondering, does it get easier? When you get to a 10 of Wands, it means the only way is up. It will get easier from here, okay? Now, the Eight of Cups is all about direction, and I would say these two cards together, it can indicate that you don't have to do it all at once. Breathe. What is meant for you will never pass you by. Having a Six of Swords at the end of your reading as an outcome energy, it tells me that you're being guided at this time, that the path will become clear, and that you're going to get lots of omens, signs, and symbols from your guides, either through numerical synchronicities or just you thinking of something and asking for a sign. The universe will deliver that sign, and it highlights that you are on the right path. But if you've experienced any setbacks or any challenges this year, I feel like you've been protected through these moments, and actually the best is yet to come there. Eight of Cups, I feel a lot of you are soul searching. Like on a deep level, you're searching for something more, because it can indicate that you're so grateful for everything that you have right now. Tens tend to be completion. It can be that, you know, you have a lot of things going on for you right now, and you're so grateful for how far you've come. And even though you feel like there's more to accomplish or to learn or to achieve or set out to be interested in, I feel there's this energy of like you being really grateful, but you also feel, and don't shoot the messenger when I say this, it's almost like looking at others and saying, you know what, I'm doing really well in comparison to other people. Now, of course, it's never a competition, but do remember that the moment you start to look at other people perhaps, or situations that you feel like, you know what, I'm doing good, they're doing really badly right now, and I've got so much to be grateful for. Yes, be grateful. I would say as a mantra every morning, it's really important. Every time I get out of bed, I sit there on the bed for a moment and I thank, you know, the universe, and I'm so grateful for everything that I have right now in this moment, and I'm grateful for the day ahead and all that is delivered and all that I learn. And it connects to a vibration of attracting more, because you are a magnet in that energy. But every time you recognize that you're going through something challenging, and then you see someone else and you think, oh my gosh, it could be so much worse, you know what, it almost like dilutes how you're feeling in this moment, and then that will start to build up later on. So just be a little bit mindful of that. That's just coming through. I'm not sure who that's meant for, but I would say that just be mindful of that. Because with the 10 of Wands and this 8 of Cups, I mean, look at this 8 of Cups. It almost feels like a bit of an inner silent scream there for some of you. And this could be that you've been going through so much and keeping it to yourself, okay? And I feel with this 8 of Cups here, a lot of you are like hoping that you do not return to certain situations. You know, some of you have been let down this year, or, you know, you have felt abandoned or misunderstood with this card, and it can indicate that you've been through a lot. And I would say emoting or letting things out, so important. But I feel a lot of you are going soul searching for something new, something different. And this is a personal journey of discovery, okay? And I feel a lot of you are rejecting things or learning the word no as a full sentence to say, no, I'm at capacity right now. I'd love to be able to help. I'd love to be there, but I've also got stuff going on for me. I feel like you're trying not to abandon yourself in making everybody else feel comfortable right now. Okay, so that's something I feel like you learned this year, and it just put the pressure on. And I mean, a lot of you, that 10 of Wands is like you're exhausted, but the 8 of Cups is like, I need a break. I need a rest. I need to just go somewhere, lie on the beach, or have a cocktail, or have a massage, or just have some quiet time, or just be more independent and just give myself thinking time. Whatever it is, I feel like there's a need here to just have a bit of a getaway. And for some of you, You may even be like wondering if you should restart something, or you just want to be free from something. There's definitely something heavy here that you just want to release. And it can be that it's just that this year has been challenging. And I see that there is some really peaceful scenarios for you in 2026. And it's almost like a relief that you're moving into calmer energy, and that you may preempt that things are still going to be challenging or things are going to be stressful, but actually I feel it's a much more simplified energy for you 2026, and it just feels like you are like a swan almost, you know, where a swan on the surface it looks like you're gliding, okay, through the water, but underneath the little web feet are going like a mile a minute to keep everything moving in the right direction. And I feel that process is going to feel easier for you, okay? It may have almost felt like you were pushing against the tide this year, but this was a transition year, a gear shift year for the collective in general, so that's why it was super hard. But next year, it feels the energy is a little bit different. Now, on the earthly plane position, Ace of Wands, you're trying to be a little bit more spontaneous, or trying to, you know, move into a period where you have more energy to reach your full potential. A lot of you with that Eight of Cups, which can indicate that something is just not fulfilling right now, or something is depleting your energy. Could be a person, could be a situation, could be a neighborhood, and you're searching for new ways to either approach this situation or transform the situation. Ace of Wands can also indicate that a lot of you, you know, you're trying to brainstorm new ways of doing things that you are excited by, and you may have had a lot of brain fog recently because you are so exhausted. Because you have so many energy cards, I feel a lot of you are focused on your energy, that it just feels like time is like flying on by. Life has become so serious, and you may feel like you've been constantly exhausted, which is not typically what you used to be. Okay, so I feel there's been a lot asked of you this year, and you've had to adapt or shift in some way, and it's just put some extra pressure on you there as well. But this is a card of adventure. It's like, where could I take things next? And with that Eight of Cups, a lot of you are looking at New Year almost like a blank canvas, that you could take life in any direction. Where are you going to make your first mark? Okay, so I feel with this Eight of Cups, you are walking into like the new year thinking, I want different, I want new, I want to see new places, new faces. You may even be booking like travel, because there's a lot of travel cards here. A lot of you may be like, I want to relocate, or I want to try new things, because things have become stagnant, or you feel a little bit stuck in a rut, and you just feel that what you do not change, you accept, and you're no longer accepting the circumstances as they are. Now, in the past position, we have the Strength card. This can be a declaration to self to take back your power in a situation, and to basically, you know, release that inner roar. I feel a lot of you, this is about you being seen, being understood, and also making yourself heard from a healthy viewpoint, articulating your feelings. But, you know, with the cards as they are, the Page of Swords and the Strength card can indicate that you've been in fight or flight mode, or you've been hypervigilant, and maybe even disassociated in some way. And all those built up feelings are now making themselves known. The collective, of course, have been going through a challenge, and we are all connected in some way. We are all one with the vibrations and energy. And of course, this can indicate that you've also been feeling this kind of shift where you've just been showing up, doing your responsibilities, and trying to make life work. And almost like you don't even know how you feel anymore about things, because you're just so exhausted at a very soul level. And, you know, I feel like you're trying to come out of that right now. There's this thawing process where you just feel like you're starting to rediscover yourself in some way, or try to reconnect to that inner spark, that passion. Because a lot of you may have felt that things you were excited by in the past just feel different, okay? You're very cerebral recently, a lot in your head there with that Page of Swords. But I also feel like you want something new. You're just curious about what else life has to offer right now. Because with that Ten of Wands, you may feel, or you may have felt that you have come as far as you can in a certain situation, and you just have a desire for new, okay? Now, this could be new places, new faces, new people, new relationships, new endeavors across the board, because you have two opposing cards here, which are about new information, investigating a new lifestyle choice. Now, this can be, adhered to in many different areas of your life. For some of you, it could be that you're interested in new foods, or new exercise routines, or new neighborhoods, new cafes, new communities, new countries to visit. It doesn't matter what it is. It just feels like you have a desire for something exciting and fresh. And fresh new ideas are going to come to you to help you kind of like really be curious about what next and where you want to take yourself towards. Also, a lot of you are trying to manage intrusive thoughts. You have an incredible mind, okay? And I would say that you are someone who has high intelligence, and what it's telling me with the energy right now is that sometimes you feel it's really hard to be impressed by people or situations that other people are really impressed with. You see through things that other people don't see. So, for example, one person may laugh like super hard at some comedy, and you could watch it and go, I don't get it. It's not funny. And it's not that you don't get it. It's like, it's just not funny. They're seeing something in there that you've kind of like either seen before, or you're like, it's not funny. Okay, so I'm just giving you an example, and it's not that you're on purpose trying really hard to be impressed. It feels like you're an old soul where you've been here many times before, and you're just like, there's got to be something else. You're looking for something a little bit deeper right now, and it's not on the surface, so you're investigating, okay? And kind of like seeking friendships or deeper connections with people, deeper conversations. And I feel like with this Page of Swords, there's this energy of calculating, like where you've been, where you are right now, and where you want to go. I feel like you're kind of taking stock of things, but there's definitely this strength within you right now to walk away from things that really don't resonate, really don't have a place on your future path, or people or situations that were not reciprocal. If you feel that you've been abandoned or left out, because the Eight of Cups in the crossing position can indicate that you feel that people have either left you out, or you feel somehow that you're on the outside looking in right now. Somehow things just don't fit. So you're going in search of something more. Some of you may seek out like spiritual retreats, or you may actually decide to create one, for example. Whatever it is, I feel like you want to move, because right now you feel with that Ten of Wands, there's been a bit of an immovable force with you in 2025, where no matter what you did, it feels like somehow you're still in the same place. However, you're so close to accomplishing something that you set out to do. And that can be anything. It could be a passion project. It could be that you're so close to retirement, if that's where you want to be. It can also be that you're so close to, your goals when it comes to your body or your mindset. And with that Chariot card, I feel like you're trying to align your energy. Your sign is all about balance, okay? And if you notice a Chariot card, there's normally either two Sphinxes on the card, or there's normally two horses on the card. There's three horses on this particular card. And each horse, of course, has, individual character. And in order to co-align and head in the right direction, because I feel a lot of your energy reading right now is about your direction and wondering, are you heading in the right direction? And the answer is yes. Okay, even though you may have questioned the path, or felt like you haven't made as far headway as you'd hoped for, I feel like this is about aligning and acknowledging that the energy is shifting to help things be more simplified. So if you think about the nature of the Chariot, normally there are no reins on the Chariot, on the horses or the Sphinxes, okay? That highlights that with sheer willpower, you have taken yourself to the position that you're in right now, and you're taking things further. You're going to accomplish a lot, okay? And it means the power of your mind, because normally there is a triangle, or there is some symbol that appears, a star, on the crown chakra for the Chariot card. It depends on which deck you use. There's many different symbols there, but this is highlighting the power of the mind, takes you to where you want to go. And I feel there's a major mindset reset for you as you move into 2026, where there is more confidence. Like, this is your life. You are you. That is your superpower. You can't be anybody else. So you may as well love yourself deeply, back yourself, believe in yourself, and take things to the next level. Take yourself to where you want to go. The universe is going to open up opportunities for you to make headway and reach the pinnacle points of your destination. And I feel this is a lot of success here for you. This is movement and improvement. But also for some of you, this could be that you are searching for something that you do not have right now, a missing ingredient. And a lot of you, it can be that you're searching for home, or you're searching for excitement, or you're searching for a part of yourself that you feel has almost been dissolved or you had to abandon in order to show up and be responsible or do all the heavy lifting in your life. Now, for example, not everybody's a parent out there, but if you're a parent, of course, you're guiding the next generation. So you are doing everything you can to make that work for your children, for yourself, and there is compartmentalized energy where you'll put a part of yourself aside in order to, have the label of parent, to guide the next generation and inform and make the money to make sure there's security and all of that. So there's a part of you that got put to the side here. So I'm just giving you a highlighted energy of what it could be. For some of you, it could be that you're a carer and you're caring for a parent or a guardian or someone close to you, and you're there for them. And a wonderful sense of duty. You care so much. You've been under a lot of pressure, but you're doing it all. You're helping and you're giving so much of yourself, and that is really commendable. But a part of you had to portion off a part of you, compartmentalize that part of you, and abandon that part of you just for the time being in order to make things work. Well, I feel 2026, no matter your circumstances, I'm just giving you two examples there of what it could be. That part of you that you put to the side very much is coming to the forefront in 2026, and you're giving back to yourself. There's going to be more time for you, and the universe is giving you an opportunity to breathe, whether that's through some sort of support, whether it's through some sort of relief aspect, or whether it is like if you are a parent, for example, it could be that, as children mature, they don't require as much of your time and your energy. It can be that, as they grow into teenagers, there's more independence there. I'm just talking about that Seven of Swords. There's more independence with that energy there. And it can be that it just frees up time, and now you get to explore a little bit more for you. For some of you, it can also be that if you're a carer, you're going to get support or be offered some sort of support network, or the shared duties will occur in some way, or you could be looking into ways to share the load so that it is more manageable in 2026 and you get a relief, a break. Okay, so I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love if that's something you're going through right now. Not everybody's going through that. Some of you may have even had to take on more responsibilities in the working environment and put like a goal or a dream to the side for a moment in order to, step up and be responsible. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to return to that. It just means that sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Okay? So I just feel like you're returning to something that is deeply embedded within yourself, that is going to be exciting. It's connected to your passions or your goals and your dreams, and the universe is giving you this opportunity which will yield success and excitement in your future. And a lot of you, you've already got ideas that are bubbling up right now. You are developing something that is going to be truly successful in your future. Whatever that is, it's going to be very precise and different for everybody. But I see a real breakthrough here for you, okay? And actually you're protected in your endeavors as well. So if there's anything you're worried about, I want you to be aware with that Six of Swords that you are protected, your ancestors are with you, and this indicates an energy of you being guided out of any difficulty or challenge, and you're protected along the way. You're going to be in calmer shores and seas as you move into 2026 and beyond. But the Six of Swords, no matter who you are, especially since you got the Eight of Cups, which is like, there's got to be more to this than just this. Because things got pretty heavy for you. You are exhausted there with that Ten of Wands. And a lot of you may be saying, nope, that's not me. Okay, well, please don't try to make it fit. Ten of Wands, that's the meaning of the cards. So I have to honor the cards that popped out. And I feel for some of you, this can be also that it's an end of an era. It's, a final chapter in your life that you're closing out in order to embrace a new start, whether it is a relocation. I mean, even if it is a relocation to somewhere overseas or to somewhere, into a different state or borough or district, whatever it is, that Ten of Wands can be like your whole life is in boxes and it just feels like it's a lot of pressure. It just feels like a challenge, okay? But you are going to reach your destination point there, and suddenly there's a relief and you feel like you've found home. But ultimately, whoever I'm picking up on right now, it feels like you're searching for something more, something outside of your usual circumstances, because you don't want to remain in this Groundhog Day. You know that there's something else out there that is that missing ingredient, and you're going looking for it. And a lot of you are going to find that missing ingredient within yourself first, okay? But I feel like you've been withdrawing and taking stock in order to get a new perspective, but let go of anything that just isn't working for you anymore or doesn't feel like it's fulfilling. Because on the Eight of Cups, a person is walking away from a full set of 8 cups. At one point, those 8 of Cups were everything that that person asked for. Cup after cup, experience, opportunity after opportunity. So I feel it's important to recognize sometimes we come as far as we can go with a situation and go, you know what, I'm really grateful for what I have right now. But there's this other thing that I feel I'm in need of right now. And I just feel like you're going to be guided towards it, whatever it is, okay? Now, with that Seven of Swords, this is your advice to yourself in this moment. Sometimes it's just not fair, okay? And the Seven of Swords can indicate that you are someone who is super independent. You are not a people pleaser, but sometimes people have expectations upon you and you always step up and it's still never enough. And it can just feel exhausting, like there's just so much expectation upon you. Some of you may also have told someone something about your life, and they may have even breached your confidentiality with them. So, you could be stepping away from a person that perhaps you felt you trusted at one point, because the Seven of Swords can be, a misuse of trust, or it can be that you told someone a secret and now it has been released and you are like done with that person. You're not going back there because you cannot trust. So a lot of you may be trying to heal trust issues. I mean, for some of you, you may have even been cheated on in a relationship in the past, and you're trying to reconcile that within yourself and move forward. And it may even have knocked your confidence at one point, because we do have the Strength card in the resistance position. And it can be that when you want to get yourself out there and open up to a new relationship, or have new chemistry with someone, suddenly you kind of lock down or feel shy or go very insular, because you remember what you had to walk away from and heal from the past. Eight of Cups in this position, it can indicate you don't ever want to repeat a cycle that you've experienced in your past ever again. And it may make you feel hesitant moving forward regarding a relationship. But I do see that you're going to be guided to a person who is passionate, kind, and has a lot of chemistry and is in it for the long haul. Okay, so I want you to be aware of that as well. You'll be talking to someone very, very shortly if you're not already. But I feel like you meet this person at a place where there is either travel for some of you, or a place that you travel to where there is excitement, a hustle bustle, a place you've never been to before but you're curious about. And perhaps even a friend may invite you to this event or arena or whatever it is, and you have a lot of fun there. So that's coming through there as well. But Seven of Swords, I feel like with all this sense of duty, with that Ten of Wands, this can be a desire for more independence, to kind of like go off and experience whimsy. That's a really hard thing for us all to do. We've got responsibility, we have to pay the bills. Life is life, okay? It's not all rainbows and unicorns, if only it was. But we all get to that point where we really see that actually it's pretty tough, okay? And sometimes some of us have had it tough from the very beginning. Not all of us, of course, but some of us have moved through some really challenging things right from childhood, and then had to just kind of like, manage as we get older as well. But that Seven of Swords indicates that you are someone who adapts, okay? You are someone who is very clever. You're someone who basically has had to be strong, but you're making a very important decision right now, and you want to be informed in your choices and planning carefully before you make your next move. Because I feel whoever you are right now, it feels like you're on the precipice of making a major decision. You're developing your plans, you're investigating the right way to proceed, and you want to confront something head on and be direct about what it is that you want. And there's a very independent outcome here as well, okay? Now, the history of the Seven of Swords often gets misunderstood. Yes, this card gets connected to basically betrayals, or someone not, being fully truthful or authentic. because this is your advice to yourself in this moment, I feel a lot of you during this period perhaps are facing things that you've been avoiding for some time. Conversation or thoughts or work or tasks and responsibilities that perhaps you need to get done, and I definitely see you're going to take a lot of your to-do list there. But I feel like you're someone who is very authentic, and perhaps people have struggled with your blunt truth, but that just gives you a measure of who you can trust and who wants to stick around and hear the truth, okay? Your authenticity should not lead to abandonment from other people. The right people will walk by your side when you own your truth. That is a measure of who are your soul tribe. So a lot of you, your friendships may have been evolving recently, and you may have noticed that the path is becoming lonelier and lonelier on this journey, because the Eight of Cups can be a very challenging path. Walking away from people that you once trusted but feel you don't have an affinity with them, or they've broken your trust in some way, or you feel like you just don't fit. You're outgrowing situations because you are seeing depth in the world. You're actually looking for something real. You're searching for something real, something honest, something true. And others in your life may be kind of comfortable with just saying, you know what, I don't want to know. Or, you know what, I can't face that right now. You know what, I just can't reach that level of authenticity. We can only meet each other as deeply as we have met ourselves, and we must acknowledge that as our truth, especially when you have done a lot of soul searching. Some people cannot match your vibe, and that's okay. It means it's time to evolve. Doesn't mean you're cutting them out of your life. A lot of people kind of misunderstand a spiritual awakening and feel that sometimes it can be that you just close yourself completely off from people. But no, what it can be is that you temper your relationship with that person or that situation, dipping in and out sometimes, or perhaps, having really honest, deep conversations that sometimes people are uncomfortable with, but you feel are necessary in order to strengthen the bond. So you may just notice that people are different with you because you're being your authentic self, and that's okay. It just gives you an indication that a person can meet you only as far as they have met themselves. Some people meet you halfway, some people just can't, they're out. And I feel you're learning. You're doing a lot of learning and a lot of witnessing or seeing through structures that perhaps were comfortable at one stage, but now you want something more, okay? Because something isn't working here with that Eight of Cups. Now, the next card we have is the Queen of Wands. Interesting, we've got actually one extra card there. So we've got the Page of Cups and we've got the Six of Swords. So a lot of you, if you are looking for love, Queen of Wands indicates that you are very attractive, that you are paying more attention to your beauty routines. You're attractive both inside and out. You have a beautiful heart, but also you are a magnet. This card indicates that you have a sensuality about you. Following your passions makes you more attractive, and actually you have a powerful aphrodisiac within your soul where you are attracting love. So if you are looking for love, that Page of Cups is there as an outcome energy that you will meet a soulmate. The dream of love becomes your reality. But more than anything, I feel this is about you leaning into your passions. A lot of you may have felt, as I said, disassociated because you're exhausted. You have so much going on right now. It's really hard to clear space for you to have fun or do something that's really meaningful for you to take pride in there. Don't get me wrong, I feel like you're still focused on your projects, your responsibilities, and you do take pride in every single thing that you do. But the Queen of Wands is an energy of searching for soul tribe members or leaning into the community or to the people closest to you. It's about letting loose, letting your hair down, having fun, going shopping, retail therapy. It's about treating yourself. It's about paying attention to your needs, exploring your passions, being inspired, finding the magic. Now, the magic is within you, but I feel a lot of you, with that Queen of Swords energy, you have had to be either strict upon yourself or you've had some sort of structure that has been hard. There's also a lament or a sorrow there. Queen of Swords can indicate a disassociation. I mean, it is a Libra card as well, so it can indicate that, you've been trying to come home to yourself in some way, but you felt somehow detached from yourself. You're super independent. I feel like you are someone who is self-assured. You've shown up for yourself because perhaps you felt you've had to be a best friend to yourself because you've had no other choice there. But that Queen of Swords indicates you're very clever, okay? You are someone who is honest and true and real. And in a world right now where everything seems really kind of like manufactured or replicated or, you know, is sold on a dream, I feel like you're seeing through stuff. Don't allow it to rob you of joy or the magic that is literally within you, and magic can be found everywhere. You know, there was even a moment today where I was walking and suddenly these incredible birds just flew into this tree, and I just stopped because I was like walking on the sidewalk, and I just stopped and I looked up and I saw all these birds. There were so many there. There was little nests as well. It wasn't all of their nests, I'm sure, because there were so many birds. And I thought of the magic of that moment, their freedom to roam, how they can just spread their wings and fly and go wherever they want, and they don't pay bills and all of those stuff that goes in your mind. And I was like, isn't that so magical? And I just had a moment where everything around me, all the noise of the traffic and the bustle of the people, it kind of stopped for a moment because I paused and I looked up and I just saw the magic of nature. Sometimes we need to stop and be aware of the magic that is literally around us. And that's not going to solve a problem. It's not going to put more money in your bank account. It's not going to do all the things that we want it to do, but it will give you a moment to breathe, a moment to recognize that there's more to this thing called life than just having all this responsibility and, you know, these duties that we have to adhere to that sometimes we can feel overwhelmed with. Sometimes when we have that little magic moment, it can be a reset, a mindset reset, a relief in the soul, a breath. And sometimes humans, we have to acknowledge that we're not just a human doing, we're a human being, and we need to take a breath. So I feel a lot of you are trying to get a little bit more organized so that 2026 gives you a little bit more of a breath, you know, so you can be structured in a way where you're strict with yourself and, you know, more efficient with your time, that you own your time, that you take accountability for your actions, but factor yourself in and do not abandon your own needs, whether that is a moment to yourself or whether that is, you know, that little vacation or whether it is a walk in the park or down a sidewalk. Mine was down a sidewalk, a busy street actually, and you know, it was just a moment to reflect, and I really felt this sense of calm. I was like, wow, how wonderful, how amazing. I was like, next lifetime I'm coming back as a bird for sure, because I just felt like in that moment they had it all. They had the world. There was a community in that tree. There was this beautiful vibration of chirping. There was a nest right there. Their food, the berries were on the bush. It was just like, you know what? They got it all. So I just felt in this moment, perhaps because you have so much movement card right now in your reading, and my guides are showing me that image of me in that moment, perhaps there's this energy of needing to feel free or move or take flight in some area, and it just gives you that fresh new mindset or this spark of a reset that helps you recognize that 2026 is going to be different. The energy is shifting. Yes, you're exhausted right now, but the universe has got your back and is sending something your way that will help you ease into 2026 and see that there is transformation. And a lot of you are coming home to yourself after a long period of feeling like you're in fight or flight mode, and you're starting to fall back in love with your life again. Page of Cups can be to follow your bliss, follow your sense of purpose. Okay. Also, it can be that you find friendships, affiliations, you know, a togetherness, a unity, meeting people where there is a receptivity to have those honest, open dialogues that perhaps you feel you cannot have with other people who may be closed off to exploring what else is out there in order to understand. But you've got a lot of cards here with larger cats there. So that's all about your primal power, your instincts, being more spontaneous. And two of these cats are roaring. So this is about, you know, letting it all out. It's about arriving, taking up more space in your life, not playing small. This is your life. This is your pathway, and you are on the right path, and you are going to discover those missing ingredients. Of course, that happiness comes from within. The cup of love starts with the self first, and the Page of Cups can indicate that, you know, you are being more playful, or you want to be more playful. You want less responsibility. You want to feel like you felt when you were younger, a little bit more free. Or it's like, I'm getting this question, like, when did it get so hard? With that Ten of Wands, when did it get so hard? And will it ever get better? Well, the answer is yes, okay? And the page often offers news, so there's definitely something that you're going to be very enthusiastic about here, but I feel like you're connecting to your higher self. A lot of you may even be developing your spiritual gifts at this time, or utilizing your intuition to recognize, actually, that doesn't work for me. Actually, I want to do more of this. You know, sometimes when you have choice, because the Chariot card is a card of choice, it can be a directional choice. So some of you may be trying to make a decision right now. Do I take a left or a right in life? Okay. Remember, your gut instinct is your first instinct. It is often the way you really want to go. But when you start to overthink things, especially since you are very cerebral, you're very intelligent, very clever, you know, you have a lot on your mind, sometimes you can overthink something. And when you start to overthink your first gut instinct on a decision or something that you really want to do, sometimes you can talk yourself out of it and choose the other option. Play it safe, for example. Do your investigating, whatever it is that you need to decide right now, okay? And of course, use discernment, but I feel like you're making a decision from a really informed place, and your gut instinct, it knows the way. And you are going to take one step towards that, and you're going to be protected on that. You will reach where it is that you want to reach, whatever that goal is. I mean, a lot of your cards, as I said, are journey cards. So this is about acknowledging that there's moments where things go slow, moments where things pick up pace. Definitely see a pickup of pace for you, but also this relief that things are heading in the right direction. Things that were clunky are now going to come together there for you. And the Six of Swords indicates you overcome the problems, or you have a breakthrough. And the GPS system is locked to your destination, and now the universe is taking you to where you want to go. But you're showing up having done a lot of the work already, so the path is now being cleared for you. Okay, so I feel like you've got this, whatever this is. I feel like there is a breakthrough here for you. For some of you, this can be a dynamic with a person that you've had some challenge with, but I feel there may have been a little bit of an inner battle, okay? And I feel like you're conquering that inner battle. So I feel that you're going to embrace more spontaneity, more excitement, more adventure, and be more instinctive and not second guess yourself in 2026. You know, I'm just being given this by my guides, and I have to honor it because it's coming through, okay? And this may not resonate with all of you, but my guides are making me say it. I get a little nudge from time to time, like, say it, do it, say it. So I'm saying it. Sometimes, especially when we were younger, and I'm just talking collectively as humans, when we're younger, sometimes we like do things on a whim. Or we go, you know what, I want to do this. Yes, it's a moment where you can think about the consequences of your actions and just go off and do something, and it either works or it doesn't. But you feel more free to make that decision, or you feel more free to just go out there and be spontaneous. And as we get older, we feel the measure of responsibility. Sometimes we lock ourselves into like mortgages, for example, or into certain debts with, cell phones or cars or whatever it is. But I feel there is this energy of you wanting to reconnect to that youthful, playful side of yourself where you want to just go, you know what, I'm just going to do it. What's stopping you from doing that? I feel blank canvas for 2026. There's just a little bit more fizziness ahead for you, and I feel like you're going to really love it. And yes, there's always a mountain to climb, but I feel like you're not just climbing the mountain to get a better view, you're climbing the mountain to prove to yourself that you can do it, and I can see that you do, whatever this is, okay? And you're going to be so proud of yourself. So we got inspiration, yes, being more inspired, that spark, that je ne sais quoi that may have lain dormant within you, that fizziness. We've also got alignment. Yes, you are going to be aligned. Now, Isn't that interesting that my guides reminded me of the birds earlier? You could have got any card in this deck. This card has got a bird on it, and that person is literally flying on top of a bird. So, I mean, I couldn't fly on any of those birds today, of course. They were too small and I'm too big, and it's just not something that's logically ever going to happen. But I feel this can be symbolic of you taking flight. Now, you could have got any card, as I said there. There's some mushrooms in that one. There's some birds in that one as well. It says change there. There's a wing. There's a seahorse. There's shells. Okay, so there's lots of things going on, but there's lots of feathers. I would say expect lots of feathers as a sign or an omen, especially since you've got a 6 of swords there. But it literally says inspiration. Tune into your inner child. Yes, as I just mentioned, when you were younger, it just felt like a little bit more like spontaneous, wild and free. You're rewilding basically right now, and it's a gear shift. It feels like a lot. So you're outgrowing a part of yourself to grow into an old part of yourself, as it were, to kind of rewild. But it says here, tune into your inner child and remember that not all who wander are lost. You literally got the 8 of Cups. You're in search of something. You're wandering to find that missing ingredient. Doesn't mean that you're lost. Sometimes we may feel like we are lost because the structure of society is that we are always told that we should have ambition, we should know what we want to do, we need to get out there and do it, be doing all the time, right? But sometimes we need to take stock of things and allow ourselves to wander. That's when you find the magic. You know, anytime I've ever wandered or just gone off to do something on my own and just have a moment, I found magic. I found like moments, like watching people, like people watching. You know, you're in a cafe and you're sitting there by yourself and you just see the interactions and think, wow, it's wonderful. That couple over there, they're so in love. And look at that little child running around there and that little dog. And you just see all these moments. So you think, well, this is magic. When you really think about that we're on a rock hurtling through space and we're told all of these things and you're like, oh my gosh, maybe it is to live in the moment and witness the magic that we're all interacting with all the time. Yes, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things going on that's challenging, but it is an energy here where you're wanting something more, something different, because you may have felt that the sparkle has been kind of like pushed out of you based on all the suppression of this energy and feeling like you've had so much responsibility and heaviness on your shoulders. But it says here, give yourself permission to laugh, to play, and relax. Okay, if you can get that opportunity, that'd be great. I do see the universe is going to give you that relief there. It says, nature's wisdom will surprise you with the spontaneous inspiration as you adventure through your path. Sometimes I wonder where my guides are taking me in these readings because, you know, normally you can look at a card and go, it means this, because they all have a meaning. And then you look at the whole cards and you go, well, together they could have a meaning. But then my guides give me a plot twist and say, you need to say this because this is the channel of the energy. And I'm like, I don't know where this is going, but I'm going to trust that my guides want me to tell you this. And then suddenly one card can kind of verify everything that came out in that reading. And I'm like, well, there's the magic right there. So finally, you have alignment, and this connects directly to your 6 of Swords. Okay, you're going to see 222 everywhere you go, maybe even 55, but my guides did not give me that energy. They're giving me look out for the 222. Okay, and it says here, you have been guided to the right place at the right moment, and all the elements within you are harmoniously attuned to align with your highest path. Trust that everything is unfolding for your highest and greatest good. Stay the course. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Sometimes we feel like we should be further along. Sometimes we feel like we've had a setback. Sometimes a pause is on purpose because something's not ready, or the universe wants you to avoid something that perhaps was not right for you or could be detrimental for your growth or your path in the future. Be mindful that you're in the right place at the right time and that everything is working in your favor. So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates, my beautiful Librans. I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a room before we close. Okay, so we have a turtle, which of course is all about slow and steady, winning that race. But the turtle has its little home on its back, going into its shell. Sometimes you may have felt like you just need to withdraw into your shell for a little bit of peace and protection there. But also it can indicate that you are protected. And some of you are searching for home. And a lot of you are trying to come home to yourself. And I feel that you've been working towards that, and major breakthroughs are going to happen there. And also we have the symbol of peace. Okay, so I feel this is about you finding peace within yourself, protecting your inner peace, and making sure that other people or other situations do not live rent-free in your head and rob you of joy. Remember, this is your inner temple, okay? So I feel it is important to recognize that. And I feel also there is more peace to come here for you, peace of mind. And you can't buy that, but you can take a pause and try and discover that within yourself and look at your intrusive thoughts there and go to the very core of what could be triggering these things. A lot of you, it could be that you are returning to childhood experiences or memories there where you are processing something to set yourself free from it, because you realize it may have been a trigger point or a root cause for how it shaped you now as, you know, a person who's maturing and becoming, because we're always becoming. Okay, we're evolving, and what you wanted maybe 10 years ago, you don't want right now. You are evolving out of those chapters. And of course, a new chapter requires a new version of you. And I feel like you've been in that transition there, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Librans. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, and love and light.